Welcome, everybody. Up front today, a food stamp scam that may make you lose your appetite. Check out how the crooks are getting richer as the poor go hungry.
I'll open it. You drop it in.
The man in the middle is a supermarket owner in New York. He thinks he's buying $25,000 in food stamps from the man on the right in exchange for $15,000 in cash, a transaction that would normally net him a clean 10 grand profit.
This is what you call teamwork, okay?
In fact, what he's buying is a felony conviction for food stamp fraud. You see, the man on the right works undercover for the government.
Take care, my friend.
Food stamps. It is a compassionate idea intended to feed the growing number of poor people in our country. But sadly, the stamps are often used for illegal purposes. Everything from street-level drug dealing to the kind of high-cost fraud we just saw.
This illicit trafficking in food stamps has been going on for years. Back in 1981, I did a major expose for 2020 on the extent of the fraud.
But you've done this before. You've gotten stolen food stamps. And how many times?
Many times.
Many times.
Many times.
Alexander Johnson tells us more about what's going on right now.
Geraldo, we're on the streets of New York City, but when it comes to trading food stamps for non-food items, we could as easily be in any city in the United States. They're that simple to trade.
These government agents are the foot soldiers of the war against illegal trafficking in food stamps. The enemy can be found all across America. There are people like this, videotaped from inside a van in Ohio, as they exchanged money for food stamps. And like this.
Check them out. You sure? You guaranteed? Okay, good.
Go to the store and buy groceries now if you want.
Caught in the act of food stamp trafficking in a diner parking lot. In some areas of the country, the food stamps are so easily traded for non-food items that they are just as good as U.S. dollars.
They can purchase basically anything besides food. You can purchase anything. Drugs. You could purchase drugs. You could purchase televisions. You could purchase VCR. You could purchase prostitution services, guns. You could purchase anything with food stamps. In the inner city, they are indeed a second currency.
Guns, drugs, prostitutes for food stamps, and that's just the beginning. In New Mexico, undercover agents were offered Stinger anti-aircraft missiles in exchange for them. And this New Jersey house was purchased for $30,000, every single dollar of it in food stamps. The $15 billion food stamp program was begun in the early 60s to provide needed nutrition for impoverished families. And even critics admit that it has been largely successful in doing that. The problem is that the food stamps are virtually untraceable. All you need is an unscrupulous food retailer, and the stamps can be redeemed with the government whether they bought food or not. There is just no way of knowing. A standard scam works like this. A drug dealer buys food stamps from an addicted recipient for 50 cents on the dollar and sells them for 75 cents on the dollar to a supermarket owner, who then redeems them with the government for their full face value. The recipient gets drugs, the dealer and the supermarket owner money, and no food ever changes hands. Investigators estimate that this kind of fraud costs the system hundreds of millions of dollars a year. The losers are the government, the taxpayers, and especially the families who really need the benefits. We met Jose Hernandez as he was going through the lengthy application for food stamps for a second time. The father of 3 children, he unexpectedly lost his job 3 months ago. He says that getting food stamps is hard, but that not getting them is harder. And he resents those that keep the aid from deserving recipients.
I mean, like, people take their coupons and they sell them, you know, for drugs or for whatever reason, you know, they change them for cash. And it's a shame because the people that do need them don't get them because of those people.
Government penalties for trafficking in food stamps have recently been stiffened. And in Maryland, a system is being tested that may get rid of the paper food stamp forever. Called Electronic Benefits Transfer, or EBT. The system deposits benefits into each recipient's individual account. The account can only be accessed at authorized food retailers with an electronic card that works just like a regular ATM card, right down to the personal identification number.
Thanks, Alexander. EBT, it sounds like an idea whose time has come.